Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I found another amazing article that shows that there is some hope left for the housing market. So check this out. As we know, last week we had Silicon Valley Bank basically went out of business. The reason being is because the Federal Reserve, has been raising rates, and some community banks are really feeling that pinch. As a result, Silicon Valley Bank could not keep up their high return on investment. Investors started pulling out, and it brought the whole bank down to basically zero, right? So what does that mean for the housing market? I mean, what does a bank collapse have anything to do with the housing market? Well, when you look at why the house collapsed, it was because the Federal Reserve raised the interest rates. And now the Federal Reserve, which that's basically the point of raising interest rates, is slowing down the economy and somewhat creating a crash in the economy, right? Well, unfortunately, nobody wants to see a crash. But that is what they were set to do. That they are trying to basically create layoffs, and they basically need to hit the brakes on the economy, and things like this will happen. But guess what? It is spooking everybody, especially the feds, right? Politicians don't want this to happen on their watch either. So they're starting to push, saying, hey, why is I see a lot of Democrats on the far left complaining that to the Federal Reserve chair, saying, hey, you're basically going to crash the U.S. economy. It's going to hurt the poor people, blah, blah, blah. And that is the issue, is that we would most likely be worse off if we let inflation rage on, and then everybody suffers a lot worse than, basically creating, slowing down inflation right now. But now, with these banks closing, everyone is starting to freak out. And the Federal Reserve looks like they're going to pause on their hawkish rate hikes, which in return is going to totally help out the housing market for people who are trying to buy right now. The only problem is that it is going to keep the prices high. In this article, this economist kind of says that we already hit the bottom, right? That right now we're starting to turn around. And if this could be a great bump for the housing market, I just cannot believe how we could have hit a bottom already. If you go over to the Redfin weekly housing market data, and you pull up here, this is the median sale price across all Redfin metros. Let me turn on 2020. Now, look at that jump, okay? So you're telling me, now if I was, this doesn't allow me to turn on 2019, but 2019 was like right under 2020. So this jump from 2020 to 2021 and 2021 to 2023, this is a bubble. This is absurd, okay? The housing market, unfortunately, should not jump this much. If you pull up previous years, the lines were a lot closer together. It was small growth, right? And I know not all markets react the same way, but basically they're telling us that this incredibly inflated price that we're in right now is actually the bottom. And I just find that very hard to believe, because people's wages don't reflect the prices of homes, right? And that is a big problem. Again, we still have a supply crunch, which is keeping the prices high. So this is not a normal scenario. So I gotta say, I disagree with this economist saying that we already hit the housing bottom and things are starting to turn around. But I do agree that if the feds lay off the interest rate hikes and we go into summer, I do definitely see that home prices are going to go up. They always go up during the summer. Now, are they going to go higher than last year? Oh my God, I hope not. I mean, if you're a seller, obviously that works for you. But I'm talking, when I make these videos, I don't necessarily make them from the seller's perspective. I make them from a buyer's perspective, right? To me, I'm trying to basically time it to get in. I'm trying to acquire more properties for myself. And I want people to basically have information to know when is the best time to buy. I'm not a financial analyst. I do this for fun, and I do a lot of research, but I just don't see prices coming down, this summer. unless the Feds keep going with their rate hikes. But I don't see the Feds keep going with the, keep raising the rate hikes, because now everyone seems to be afraid of going into a recession. The Biden administration, obviously, the last thing they want on their plate is a recession right before the election. That would give the opposite team, obviously, more momentum. So, are they going to just kick the can down the road? Are we going to have high inflation? Is inflation going to, basically run off on us? Or are the Feds going to keep raising the rates, crashing the economy? Who knows? But all we know as of right now is that things are being discussed right this second, and they are specifically looking at Silicon Valley Bank. What does this mean for other community banks across the United States? I mean, is this situation with high interest rates, could this create a run on the banks? What is that going to do overall? At the end of the day, nothing would make me happier than to see home prices come down as I, basically save up more and more for a down payment. But at the same time, going through a recession seems just like something I'm not in the mood to go through, especially if it's a bad recession. We just got through COVID. That was kind of crazy in itself. And now having to jump into another disaster, it just seems like a bad idea. But at the same time, having an economy with high inflation is going to destroy everybody's life, right, in this country, and it will have a worldwide effect. So right now, I guess we are literally in no man's land, as there's just a lot of fear and uncertainty. Keep a close eye on everything. I just want to point out one quick thing, though. So did you guys notice that as soon as Silicon Valley Bank went under, basically, Bitcoin just had a huge pump, right? It went from something like from 24,000 to 26,000, and then it dropped down back to 24,000. What a weird situation that was. I wonder if people pulling out their money from Silicon Valley Bank, they didn't know where to put their money and they just went in and put it into Bitcoin. Who knows? But that was a big jump. Now, the stock market did take a hit yesterday. Look, let me tell you something, guys. If the Feds don't raise the rates by that much, you are going to see a huge spike in everything. You're going to see a spike in the stock market. You're going to see a spike in crypto. You're going to definitely see a spike in the housing market. Unfortunately, the housing market is so overpriced right now. That's the last thing I want to see, is a spike in the housing market. But again, that is the power of the Feds. They are a very powerful organization, and they basically control our economy because they control the money flow. Okay, guys, I want to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think? You think the market's going to crash? You think the market is going to get hot, the housing market? And I want to know your thoughts. Please comment down below. Now, if you guys do like these videos, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and go ahead and like and leave a comment. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video.